Yeah.
Depending on who you listen to. See, one of the craziest things that Lazar talked about was that what human beings are and what this planet is essentially a farm for souls, and that there's some need for the essence of a life form, a soul. Now, if you've created artificial intelligence, imagine if there's one hurdle that cannot be bypassed, and that hurdle is a soul, and that it's actually a real thing. And it's a real, not just an energy, it's a type of matter, it's something legitimate that creates an individual thing, a life form. And these creatures, maybe they need souls.
So AI is not going to be sufficient.
I don't know, but this is the weirdest thing that he talked about. He said that we're essentially a farm for souls. But what does that mean? Like, what do they need souls for?
Yeah.
But imagine if there is this process of existence, right? So you have single-celled organisms that eventually become more advanced, they become predator and prey. And then you have this one intelligent, dominant form that starts figuring out tools, and that's the primates. And over time, the primates evolve, and the primates get to the point where they started using machines and internal combustion engines. They're using propulsion. They're using all these different things. They're figuring out flight. Then they're figuring out atomic energy and weapons. And there's this transition that will continue. And that transition will go into more and more advanced technology if they don't blow themselves up. So if what our natural evolution is to go from being Australopithecus, to go from being, the cousin of the chimpanzee, to being what we are today, to being what we will be in the future, I think what we will be in the future is probably them. When you see these aliens with these giant heads and little spindly bodies and no genitals, we seem like we're on that path. Like, that seems like a natural it doesn't seem like if Bigfoot was flying UFOs, you'd be like, why are we Bigfoot again? I thought we passed that. I thought we evolved past being hairy brutes.
Yeah.
And we became this thing that's like gentle and telepathic, and it doesn't use any muscular force. Everything is done through telekinesis. The communication is telepathic. The communication with the craft is telepathic. Everything is done through this way of integration with technology, because they've become physically integrated. They might not even be biological anymore, but they might still need souls. Soul might be a force. It might be a thing that's necessary for the cultivation of another version of us on another planet. If this is a process, just like a garden, right, where you have the soil, you till the soil, you fertilize it, you plant the seeds, you water it, they grow, the crops grow, and then you harvest them. If this is a process, and that's what human beings are. Just like you have a fucking elk farm in New Zealand, and that's how you get tenderloins. It's a process. Like, you have to do all these things to get this result. What if we're a farm for souls?
But who's farming us?
Advanced life forms.
So they need our souls for something. It's an energy source for them in some way.
It sounds so ridiculous.
No, let's go on it.
But it sounds ridiculous even as I'm saying it and as you're repeating it. Like, they need us for souls. It sounds like some L. Ron Hubbard science fiction.
No, but to me that makes sense. Why they would be concerned about the nuclear bombs is because if we destroy ourselves, they no longer have
kill
these
the farm.
souls. Exactly.
Yeah, we kill the farm.
So
right now the farm's doing great. There's more people than ever. That's what we like. As long as we don't have a massive depopulation event like a nuclear war. Yeah.
And that makes sense that it would, catch their attention. They'd come in, they'd be like, well, we got to kind of shut this thing down, or
if
at least...
we are really the product of accelerated evolution, which is much speculized.
What does that mean? We're the product of
accelerated evolution. Which is like, look, we are very, 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 very different from everything else on this planet by a long stretch. Not by like a couple of years, by a long stretch. By every other primate, the best they can do is use a stick to get termites.
One
thing is orangutans spearfish.
Oh, they're making weapons.
They figured out how to spearfish, and they learned it from us, apparently.
Yeah.
But they can do that. Orangutans use tools.
But isn't there a theory that now they're at a different level in the evolutionary chart? Yeah.
Yeah. The current understanding is that they have begun the Stone Age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of cool to see it happen.
It's crazy to see it happen.
So
have you ever seen the orangutan spearfishing?
No.
You got to see this picture.
Yeah.
Jamie, pull it up. It's bananas. This orangutan is stabbing fish while hanging from a tree like this. He's like stabbing fish with one arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they figured out how to use tools.
So if whoa, this is actually interesting. So if we're watching them in their Stone Age, it's completely plausible that some other life form is watching us in our advanced state of evolution.
Look at that dude.
Get the fuck out of here.
Isn't that wild? Homeboy spearfishing, hanging out with his feet and one arm.
Wow.
I mean, it's nuts, man. It's fucking nuts.
Wow.
He observed local fishermen do it, and he figured out how to do it himself. Pretty fucking crazy, man.
Wow.
Pretty dope. He's probably the king pimp
100%.
of all of the orangutans.
100%.
Yeah, he's the dude who figured it out. They're probably all like, whoa, this guy's a wizard. He gets fish. Like, oh, there's a video of it?
No, I was hoping there was, but I started.
Holy shit.
Fucking crazy. Crazy. So
I could believe that. I could
the
subscribe
things,
to that.
Things evolve. If you left them alone like that, spearfishing, for 500,000 years, a million years, who knows what they would probably look like cavemen.
Yeah.
I bet eventually they look like cavemen, depending upon what is causing this advancement and how quickly. So that's the mushroom question. So that's the stoned ape theory.
Yeah.
Terrence McKenna believed that it had a lot to do with the consumption of psilocybin mushrooms.
Yeah. Now, is the psilocybin mushrooms what? It allows you to solve problems in an outside of the box way? Like, what kind of a competitive
Formation
advantage?
of language through glossolalia. Like,
What
there's glossolalia is like you start associating sounds with objects and language.
Okay,
The
so-
formulation of language, and psilocybin would aid in that.
Yeah.
Aid in creativity, aid in visual acuity. They've done studies where they showed that people under doses of psilocybin detect edges quicker. So, like, if you have two lines that are moving, that are parallel lines, if you deviate one even slightly, people on psilocybin notice it quicker than people that aren't on psilocybin.
Okay.
So it increases visual acuity. It makes people hornier, so it makes people more likely to breed. It makes you a better hunter because it increases your visual acuity.
Yeah.
Your understanding of space, probably you're more tuned in and more sensitive to things.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of folks
So-
out there microdosing on mushrooms, and it helps them do a lot of things. Snowboarders.
Could AI be this next? Could AI for us be what mushrooms were for these primates?
But times a billion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's where you see that next leap. So
Yeah.
mushrooms come around, the apes start using tools, doing whatever they want, and then now you accelerate evolution.
Well, the
Now-
mushrooms probably are the seed for artificial intelligence.